Hi, in this tutorial I'll talk about templates or editable template. This tutorial is going to be very important for you. So we'll learn many concepts which are important for learning as well as for interview. You should be sure you will get some question in your interview about editable templates. So what we'll learn in this tutorial, how to create and edit editable templates, and then we'll see 4 concepts which are important: structure, initial content, policy and layout. Policy is entirely a big topic, so I'll cover policy as a separate tutorial because policy belongs to template and components, but I'll give you overview as part of this tutorial. So this is going to be very important for you. So you can create template by your own, you can define the layout of it. But you should be aware, like before creating template, your developer has been created all the dependencies for you. Then only you will be able to create template. But you can create any number of template without the help of developer. Means as a non-developer guy can create template. So we'll see how you can do that. So for this tutorial, I'll take an example of VRetail. You can do it the same thing in your project. Okay. So to create template, go to this tools and general, and you will find this tile called templates. Go to template. Now, once you create your project, you will find your folder, project specific folder, right? A Maven archetype already create these kind of folders when you create a project using Maven. So we'll create this test template here. So you will see number of templates here. What you can do, create. When you create, you will find templates type, right? This is called template type. So these things already created by your developers, right? So you can create template using template type. So we'll take this empty page for now. You can create as per your need. So create this and let's say test template. Once it is done, just open this template. So if you open, you will find nothing. It depends on your template type. If your template type has already added some component, you can see those here. So once you see, it all depends how your developer structured your template type. Okay. So as per, if you see, there is a layout container. Layout container is a component. So this is added. But what is the use of this template? I have already explained. So you create pages using template and you want some predefined content to it so that you don't need to add that content on every page. So here what we'll do, you see this is a layout container. So what we want a header and a footer. So these components has been already created. So what we'll do, we'll add a header here. Let's add header. Okay, VRetail header. The header has been added and we need a footer as well. So let's add footer. You can add any number of component, whatever you want. Let's say footer. Okay, footer. So header created, footer created. Now, when you create page using this, you'll find one header, one footer. But you need parses as well, means paragraph system, to drag and drop component specific to your page. So what you can do, you can add one more layout container so that you have that space. We used to call it parses or paragraph system, so that is available over page and you can add components. So let me add that container, search for the container, layout container. Okay, this has been added now. But what happened, this is added after footer. So you want this to be before footer, means you want between of these two. Okay, right. See, this has been created between of these two. We want like this, like first header, then space and then footer. When you create this, you must understand whatever you do either on any page or any template, everything is stored in a nodes. Okay, node structure. So let's see where this template created. So all the templates created under conf. So how you can go that? Go to the CRXT, go to this conf, and you'll find a folder specific to your project. So we are talking about the VRetail, you'll find a folder VRetail. Okay. Inside VRetail, you'll find this much of stuff. Go to WCM, and inside WCM, you'll find this template policies, segments, template type. So this template created inside template type. You will see here, let me refresh this. Okay. So one template created called test template, and the title is, there's a number of nodes. You can go to the JCR content and you see the title and all. Okay, there are the template type, right, which you seen while creating template. Those are available here. Your developers can create more as per your need. Okay, so these created here. If you open this for now, open this and go to structure, I'll explain what is the structure and all. So you will see whatever the component I drag and drop here, you must see the nodes of those components. So go here, check, go to the structure, okay, structure, JCR content and root. You will see this header, responsive grid. Responsive grid is a layout container. Obviously the node name is different. What you see, you will understand in coming tutorials. And this is the footer. Okay, so these three nodes has been created: header, responsive grid, footer. So we are good with that. For example, if you see this responsive grid is below footer, you can just drag and drop these here from here, sir. See, it went down and now you can drag in between. So adjust in case if you are not able to adjust from here, adjust from there. Okay, let's save it if it is. You don't need to save because you have already done here. So now this template should be available to create page. Okay, now let me go back and go to sites and here go to language master inside this. So let me create page. This template should be available. So what do you see? Okay, you don't see this template. There must be some problem. So when you create any template, those are in draft mode. So if you go back, go to the templates again. Let me open one more time in another tab. Okay, go here, templates. So you will see template has been created, but if you see it's a yellow, you will see the yellow header. In the rest of the things you will see this green. So it's in draft mode. Even it's written like it's in draft mode. Just enable this template. So once you enable this, okay, you choose this and you will find these much of properties. Okay, you can edit properties, means whatever the properties, enable, publish. Publish means you can move this to publish mode, but ideally when you create this should be part of your code base. We'll see that. Okay, just enable this. It's enabled now and you see the green. If I go back and create this now, again the page, let me do it from start. Okay, so let me refresh this once, English, and if I create now page, I must see a test template. See, this has been created now. Okay, next let's say test page. Let's say test page 1. Okay, create. So the page has been created, but you don't see the paragraph system or the parsers. You don't have option to drag and drop these components, right? So as I said, the components are allowed. Whatever the components you want to add here, you have to allow those, right? So there's no parsers. Go back to the template, okay, and go to this layout container. So as I said, policies. Now the role comes about the policies here. Basically in template you have to allow what component you need. So we do in this editable templates using policies. But if you talk about the static templates, which I'll talk about later in coming tutorial, don't worry for the now, we use design mode, but I'll not talk about that right now. So policies are for component as well as for templates. So here, this is the sign of policy. Okay, open this, right? You see nothing has been added now. So if I select this, you will see a number of options. So these are already defined policies here. Means this policy will define, and please note here, whatever I am doing for layout container. Okay, even if you see here, so I'm defining the component and the behavior for layout container. So what I'll do, I'll add existing policies. Let's say we retail default policy. I added those, right? As soon as I add, you see here, these are the component groups, available components. So if I see, I'll talk about these later in a separate tutorial, but for now, what you understand, see, these components has been checked, means these are allowed. If I go down, there is a 2 more groups. These are component groups. So we retail group allowed, we retail commerce group are allowed. So if I save it now, so for this layout container, For only this layout container, a policy has been setted, and that policy defines some properties, means what are the components allowed. You can do other stuff as well. For now, let's do only the components. So if I come here and if I refresh it now, okay, so even after editing this, means adding this policy, I don't see this here, right? So there must be some issue with that. So go back and check, right? If I refresh this template again, so if I check again this layout container, so you'll see it's a locked, right? Just unlock this. If I unlock this, right, now you see the components, allowed components here. And if I refresh this now, okay, now you see the paragraph system, means the parses. Now I can add those components either from this plus button, right? These are the allowed component, or I can go here left hand side and I can drag and drop. You see the components. You can add those components here, right? All right. The one thing I need to explain here is this one. If let's say I create, come here again, policies. Okay, let's say I want to create a new policy here. So what I want to allow few more components or less components. So I'll not touch this existing policy. So what I'll do, okay, let me create a policy, right? Custom policy. All right. So the custom policy has been added. So what I'll do now, let me open this policy, custom policy. Now what I'll do, I'll remove everything. I'll leave only these two components. Let's say I remove this component, this group and this group, and I save it, right? So now if you see only two components, this component is allowed, layout container. So if I go back and refresh this, and if I try to add component now, there's only two components, experience fragment and layout container, which is allowed by that policy. Okay, so that way you can define, that way you can change the behavior using policy. We'll discuss the policy related stuff in detail, okay, in separate tutorial. So what I'll do, let me allow the both again, v retail and this one. All right, one more thing now. You know the page properties, right? Let me open page properties to this page. These are the titles, tags, navigation and hidden navigation, page title, and many more stuff. If you want any property to be preloaded when you create a page, so there is a you can define properties, means initial properties, right, using this template. So what you can do, go to the left hand side, this icon, and see this initial page properties, right? So you can define the page properties which should be available when you create page using this template. So what I'll do, let me add 3 tags here. Just for, you know, just to show you, I'm just doing as a random things. Okay, 3 added, and hide in navigation. So now save it. All right, so let me create one more page here now. Okay, one more page, let's say test page 2, and same template, test template, test page 2. All right, let's open it. So if I check the page properties of this page, go this and check the page properties, right? So these tags are already added and this checkbox is already checked. But for the previous page, means page 1, this is not there, right? So you can define initial properties using page property, means this initial page properties here using template, right? So this one, you can do it. Okay, page policies. I'll talk about this. You can add these. This is the template level policy actually. So you can define few things. I'll talk about these policies in a separate tutorial. Now, there's a header icon. Now let's understand this. This is all the old options, which I have already explained this one. This one also I have explained some other property like publish template, view admin, page policies, initial page properties I have already defined, already explained. So important stuff is there here in the right hand side. So in right hand side, there is a drop down. You see the structure here. If on click on drop down, you will see 3 options: structure, initial content and layout. Okay, so the structure, let's understand with initial component first, initial content. So once you go to the initial content, you will see again, you will see a layout container and you will see a paragraph system. So you can add a content here, right? In template, we are adding content to template. So let me add a component here. Okay, what do you want me to add? Let me add a image. Okay, I added an image and let me drag and drop an image for you. Simple image. Okay, so image. So I added an image here, right? In initial content, Now let me create a page using this template. One more page. Okay, one more page. So let's say, did I save this? Okay, yeah, no need to save it. It's all right. So let me create one more page using same template, and let's say test page 3. Create and open. So you will notice here now, while creating a page, whatever I added in initial content, that is available here on the page, right? But this is coming after addition, after editing of my template. So all the existing previous pages which were created before adding this component to my initial content, those will not have this. The page 1, okay, and page 2, this content is not here. All right, this content is not here. And if I go to this page, let me go to this page now in my repository, means where the node has been created. So you must understand, as soon as I add something, it will create a node. So I copied this till path, as I already explained how you should go there. If you don't know, go there, and let me close this, copy the path here and go here, right? It's had been, okay, English. Let me refresh this once. Okay, now, so if you see page 3, go to this is page properties, root, okay, responsive grid, image. So you see this image component is available here, but it's not available in the old pages. So what do you understood? While creating a page, right? So whatever content is there or whatever components are there in initial content section of template, those nodes are copied here in your page, but those were not copied for the old pages. So there is a static relation between these two, template and pages. Static relation between whatever you added in initial content and the pages. So if you create page after adding your component to template, those will be available, but those won't be available for older pages. One concept. Keep in mind, this is very important. Whatever I explain in this tutorial, that is really important for you guys. Now, one more thing. Go to this page, and if I want, I can edit this page, edit the content, right, which is coming from the template. So let's say if I want to change the image, I can do that. Let me get an image, another one, okay, and save. Okay, meta, I have to add something in missing, let's say alt text. Okay, the image has been changed. So you can define initial content or whatever you need in template, and you can update that in your page if you need. Even I can remove this. Okay, let me remove. I'll not remove for now, just I want to show you something. So let me remove it. So I can remove it from the page and it won't come back. It's removed means it's removed, right? Now, so this was the use of initial content. So if you want to define some initial content or initial components and with the content, you can add in initial section of your template here, right? Now, come back, okay, come back to the structure. Right. You can add component to structure as well. Okay, now let me add the component here. Okay, what you want me to add? Let me add a text, or let's say title. Okay, this title has been added and I'll move it up. So this title has been available. Title is always get your page title, don't worry about it. So now if I create a page now, let me create one more page. I edit this title. Let me create one more page now. Page using this template. These are really important concepts. Keep in mind, please. Page 4. Okay, and open. Right. So you see the page title. This is coming from the structure and this is coming from initial content. So if you check here, one content is coming from this one structure, another one is coming from initial. So finally on page both content has been merged, right? But the magic is now, you remember, now if I load the page one, okay, if I refresh this now, the title means that this came, and if I do page 2, refresh, the title came, right? So what did you understand? Whatever you add in your structure, that is dynamically binded. So whatever you added, whether the page is created earlier or later, all the pages will have that content and component. This is the important stuff. Okay, so this is dynamically binded with your template. The pages or the content inside structure is dynamically binded to your pages, right? So that happened. So that content will be available on the pages, all the pages, right? All the pages. And the pages created after that means when you add it in initial, those will have initial content as well. You understood? Now, am I able to delete this? No. See, I don't have any option to delete this. So another concept, whatever you added in a structure section, you cannot delete those. You cannot delete that on your pages. You cannot edit that in your pages. So this is a dynamically thing. You cannot do anything with that content which is added in structure. These are really, really important stuff. I hope you understood these two concepts. Initial, why I'm focusing too much on this, because these being asked in your interview question, and this is really confusing. You won't understand it by yourself. Okay. Now, so what you understood, if it is initial, if you added something in your template in initial section, that create nodes in your page, and that is only available on the page, only on the pages which were created after this edit. Okay, but whatever you added in structure, that is available throughout the pages, whether those are created earlier or later. Okay, let me go to structure now. Two concepts now. Now, layout. So what is the benefit of this template? So using this, you can define the layout of your component template. So if you check here, right, this is a 12 column layout, right? Let's say I want two sections of this page. All right. So what I can do, I come here, go to this layout. First add one more layout container here. I'll show you why. Okay, layout container. So now in this, the two layout container. Okay. Okay, let me check whether those came on page or not. Okay, it came later. Just a sec. So if you see here that responsive grid has been added, but if I come back and see that this structure, this is added below footer. So let me move it above footer. It's not necessary to move from here. You can move from here as well, right? And why it is not available over page? Because that is locked. Okay, that is locked. So if I check now, I can unlock this so that this is available now. Right. All right. Now I want a 2 column layout of this page. So what I'll do, go to this layout. All right, layout, and what I'll do, okay, so I will make this, okay, I'll make this 6 column, and I will make this 4 columns, right? So it is divided into 2. right? It's now. It's done. Now, if I open this page, see, 2 paragraph systems has been came now. So this has been divided into two sections, right? You can add component here and here. Again, I'm not able to add component here because I have to update the policy for this layout container, right? I did not add any policy here. So that's why. So that way you can define your layout. Obviously, keep in mind all the breakpoints and CSS should be already written. Otherwise, you will able to this break, but you don't see your page. Means, as I said earlier, all the dependencies should be developed by our developers, right? So that way you can define the layout. Come back to structure, and if you check this one, even the content has been resized, right? Now this is in 6 column, 12 column, means 8 and 4 columns, right? So that way you can define the layout of your page or layout of your template. I hope you understood these concepts. These are really important. If you have any question, add your comment. Thank you.